Yeah, good morning. I will start with a lesson. Sorry, still I am in the old timetable that I'm thinking on afternoon. So from next week onwards, this problem will not take. Sorry for the inconvenience. So we'll start the lesson now. I'll
Good
share
morning,
my.
sir.
Yeah. Good morning. Sorry. Good morning, everyone. Good
Sir,
morning. Now,
getting messages department group. I thought it's already half an hour, so I told all of them to
Good
leave.
morning, sir.
I'm sorry,
good
sir, for
morning.
that.
Dakshini, what you are telling? I didn't get.
So I the group that it is your hour to take the class,
Uh,
and we waited for half an hour. There was, so I only told
it's okay, not an issues, not an issues.
so I
Because
for that.
it's okay, ma. It's okay. From next week onwards, no problem about that. So I'll take at 9:30 class. So I'll start now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, back here with a lesson. So in the last class, we are discussing on Yes, yeah, back. So in the last class, we have discussed how mobile platforms is a very important thing which we have discussed. What are the important mobile platforms are there? How to understand on that particular things. The first one we had discussed the
Sir,
Android.
background noise too much is coming, sir.
What ma?
Background noise too much is coming, sir.
Noise is there.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, so much of background noise.
Nothing is there now. Hello.
Now nothing. Now nothing, sir.
Yeah. Now we'll start with this one, the Android. So that we have discussed in a last class that how the Android platform will be there and what are the standards which we can use for an Android application development and hints I have given that how the view control tabs it will be there at a tab top of the application, how we can go with an back button navigation hierarchical system will be followed. Coming to the next thing in iOS, we have seen that this is a one strictly which will follows the standards which is given by an iOS. The app what you are developing must be with this particular standards only. Otherwise, they don't add that to the official app store of that particular iOS. So means Apple App Store it doesn't have that, and almost all in a Apple phone or an iPhone, the thumb controls will plays a very much important role. Then your app should be based on that particular thing. Users generally hold from the bottom of the device, so main navigation items should be in reach of user thumbs. So that you have to keep in a mind that we have discussed. But when you go for a large iPad screens are great for a custom multi finger gestures. You can add according to the standards of an iOS. And then we have discussed about an BlackBerry, just BlackBerry operating system, how it will works. Especially this operating system is for a government and in a corporate environments it will be used. And this is a one particular phone which will be works with the buttons. Means our app, whatever you are creating, should support the component should support that particular platform, and how a shortcuts you can give with this particular buttons with an trackpad. So that we had discussed in a last class. Coming to the next thing, Windows Phone 7, that is WP7, so which is a Windows version of a mobile platform. And here also, almost all drag and drop things will be more here, and your flash memories, which at least 4 GB of flash memory is you must need assisted with an GPS. And so dedicated six buttons you can use, that is back, start, search, camera, power, and a volume. So for a standards you can go to these particular links and you can find the standards for that particular development. And we have discussed that how the Windows WP7 movement screens gradients will be there, and means how a back button navigation will be used. So these things we have discussed, and 5 staples also. Now using a tools for mobile interface design. Now we'll come to today's lesson, using the tools for a mobile interface design. Design is a craft and a tool shape how any individual's craft will develop. Now, what actually the tools you may need? For example, I will tell you. I will tell you that you make one wooden doll or some wooden frame, something you make. I will give you the wood, whatever is there with you, and you know first what you must know, what I have to do, and from this particular wood what craft I should generate, and how this craft will be used, and who is using this craft, and all. It will come to the users, which we had discussed already, and what design, different design patterns, means how to make this particular craft, and what are the methods I can use to make this particular craft, and all. And coming to the next, we have gone with the wood type, means mobile platform type, what type of an wood it is, and all, means how much depth we can cut this particular wood, means for making a craft, and all, what is the quality of this wood, and all, means how this wood, different types will be there in that. So now everything is ready, you know everything as a designer. But when you take this particular, you need some tools to make that particular craft. Now we will see what type of tools you need to make this particular craft, and how you can, for a carving and for cutting, what type of tools you are going to use, and how you are going to fix this particular wood. So same thing here in a mobile app development or on a design, mobile and tools for the mobile interface design will play a very much important role. Design is a craft and a tool shape how any individual's craft will develop. But be confident enough in yourself to stick to the tools that work for you. That is very much important. So what tools I need, what is my app first, what I'm going to do first, what is my craft. So for this particular craft, what the tools I need? Maybe some tools you don't need for that particular craft which you are going to do. Same like here, what are the tools which is essential for me? Selecting the tools itself, you must be very confident enough in your craft to try a new things. So for that particular thing, selecting a tools is also a very much important. And always be looking for a new things to try. Your next favorite tool may already be available. So like this, so you can make a innovative things using a new tools. And why can't I use this particular tool instead of an old one, everyone which they are using? So why can't I shape my particular app in this particular format where it can be attractable with the customers or users? Like that, the selection of tools with the innovative mode is also important. User acceptance testing. Standard your users, their behaviors and their goals with accurate measurement and through analysis. So how you are going to make your user means accepting, means what wisdom level he is having on your particular app. This is very much important. Data, you will give the information to the user. User will get a knowledge from that particular information, and after getting a knowledge, he will go to the wisdom stage. That means he is well able to understand your app, and all is ready to give a feedback to you in an acceptance testing level. Means he is ready to evaluate your particular app. That means the customer or a user has used at max our particular app which we have designed. So understand your users, their behaviors, their goals with accurate measurements and true analysis. So how you are going to do the feedback concept plays a very much important role. Why? Because see, I will tell you, once the app has been developed, always there is an updation for the particular app. See, we are using the smartphones. In any apps you may see, either it can be a phone pay, either it can be a Google Pay, or any games or anything you may see. Always there will be an update in a frequent things. Why this update? Why you need an update once you have developed after doing so many analysis and so many design patterns following and all, knowing more about an users and all, you are making the things. Once the app, when it comes to the real world or a practical acceptance by a customer, then customer based on his particular needs, you have to update or you have to give some more features to your particular app. User acceptance testing, that is UAT, is an organization specific and a project specific process. So always this will be there. So once if you launch your particular app, so always you are going to get a feedback what a particular customer is facing and which particular problem he is facing in a particular app. Either you can get that things from a feedback, or either you can get that things from a usage of the customers when it comes from one person to the another person. From that feedback also, you will get what features extra you may need when you are going with a practical use of that app. But the right tools help application designers qualitatively and quantitatively know what users are doing and what stakeholders are getting wrong. Means in your app only you can design an app like that. When user is using a app, so how much time is taking, means how qualitatively or quantitatively is using, how many customers are there. So based in which particular feature or in which particular component the user is not using this particular feature, what is the cause for the failure of the functionality, why user is not using that particular thing. Why can't I make up this in a next acceptation, means next updations. So these things will be there always. Why? Because you will keep on tracking the users and their usages on your app, and finally you will make your stakeholders not to get any wrong thing. So they will work well confidently, and the acceptance level will be increased there. Coming to the next, information capture. Document user inputs and reactions the old-fashioned way by taking a notes as users complete tasks. Video recording can archive tests for later review, but cameras should not distract the user focus. So how you are going to capture the information? This is very much important. For example, assume that there are some 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs of users are there for your app, and how these particular customers are using in our particular app. Means making a track of 1 lakh and 2 lakh of a customers, how you are going to track. So this is a very important thing here. Actually, to say, according to the textbook, they have given a video recording, but video recording both in 2 ways. It will have an means disadvantages. That is, it will distract your customer. Means it will keep on recording. Means it will distract the customers. Maybe privacy of the customers. Maybe it is also the part in which you are going to take. And coming to the next thing is making that videos of more customers and analyzing that will become a more difficulty. Then what type of information capture you can do, and how you can take this particular thing, especially how many ticks they have means when particular model has been taken. For example, I will tell you like this. You take one particular example. For example, Raita Baddu, a farmers forum, if you take. So, for example, for my particular app, assume there are some 50,000 of farmers are there. The more farmers are, they are more, they are using, means they are uploading the pictures for an pest control more than the soil test reports which they can't upload. Maybe some problem in that particular thing, but that functionality working means whatever soil test reports uploaded rather than plant photos, somewhat it's very less. So something is happening on that particular thing. Like this, if you do the analysis of using of that particular thing, why? Because other two things will be there. The farmer, he doesn't have an awareness to test the soil, or he is having a problem to upload that particular report with the soil report. Then what else you can do to get this particular thing to be done in your app? So how your app can be updated on this particular feature? So in this way, the information capturing you can do. Task analysis, standard user acceptance testing procedures apply to the mobile context. Testers will continue to monitor results until time, budget, or questions run out. So this is a task analysis. How you are going to analyze one particular task. For example, bankers. So is there any difficulty that once the farmer has applied for the bank loan, and so whatever details he has given, based on that particular details, taking that details, bankers are filing. So how you can analyze this particular task, the approval giving by a bank, how much amount can be given to this particular loan, may be drastically reduced, means they can't access the information. To make the bankers to get the details of the farmers based on, maybe I will tell you, survey number, maybe the link between the government Bhumi software and that particular survey number is missing to the bankers. So how frequently you can make, means you can update this particular thing, and you can give a details of that particular land details to the banker based on that particular, means in that area what will be the cost in that survey number, and what will be the cost of the land. So for this particular crop can we give this much loan? Well, bankers will have their own procedures. So that things also will place a very much important role. So this is a task analysis where that can be done. Coming to the next, information design tools. So creating the mobile application interface requires a range of tools, and only by using a tool can designers learn their best tool set. Sketching and wireframes. So sometimes we need to shaping ideas on a paper before focusing on the pixels. This is very, very much important. The sketch of the particular screens, means of your app, should be put on a paper rather than on the pixels, means directly coding what you are going to do. First you will face that particular thing, and from which means how the screen should be moved, means from one screen to another screen, how you are going to move. That is storyboard application screens to outline the features and flow, focusing on the big picture before turning on to computer screens. Yes, you have to prepare a storyboard for that. What is this particular storyboard? I will put one particular board and a sheet of a paper sketch will be there. Then from one particular sketch to the another sketch, how I can move, how I can tell a story, making of that particular sheets. Then how I can hierarchically, means how can I explain my information hierarchically using a parent and how you should analyze, what is, how you have analyzed about your app and all. So will be the very important thing, the storyboard. So in this storyboard, you will come to know that either the screen is correct or not, either how to move from one screen to another, or one paper to another paper, one screen to another screen, and what are the important features which I can put on this particular screen to make you understand what actually this screen is there, or this paper is there, like that. So these storyboards will also this is one of the best thing which will makes to understand the focusing and you before going for an computer screens. A wireframe is a rough outline of each application's framework. Stay focused on a functionality during wireframing. So wireframe is a rough outline of each application framework. Means I'll make a rough outlines how this particular app should look like. Stay focused on a functionality during wireframing. This easy to share, easy to edit files are just a skeleton of the design. So if I keep only this particular feature or an button, so how this particular button will work? For example, I will tell you. If I click on one particular button, either can I move to other screen? If I click on this side button, for example, I will tell you next and previous. So if I click this side button, I should come to the previous screen. If I click on this, I should come to the next screen. So for this, just to understand that particular buttons, this is wireframing. For example, I will tell you, Siva, when your senior students has did one particular app to understand this particular, just how the buttons will work. Just 1 minute, maybe Farmers Consultant Forum, Kisan, no, on there, I think. Navigator they have created. How they have did know? They have taken a seven wonders of the world, means pictures they have taken. So starting, they will click on a next button. It will comes to the second one, third one. The screen will pass like this. If I click on a previous, it will comes to the previous. When it is in a first button, the previous button will be disabled. When it comes to the last seventh wonder of the means that particular picture, the next button will be disabled like that. So this is a wireframe. Means we are not doing a particular app here. Just we are concentrating on particular functionalities. A simple image will do, but tools such as Blasmic, mockups, which you are going to let designers adopt boilerplate widgets, including the scroll bars, tabs, or image placeholders into a wireframe editor. So in a wireframe editor, what and all you can do the things is how the scrolling bars will be there, tabs will be there, and image placeholders will be there. Keeping like that, you can see how these particular things will look like, either it will works correctly or not. Still, you have not designed the frames. Just this is a base skeleton tool which you are going to use. Coming to the next thing, mock-up designs. So mock-up designs means there's a virtual thing which you are working and evaluating thing. When you are ready to consider the colors and fonts, you can build a mock-up design concept in Adobe, especially Adobe Creative Suite. And from there, means Adobe Creative Suite, how it will look. So it's not a working thing. Means I will place one particular my mobile screen and I will place the colors, buttons, whatever is there, everything, and I will see how it will looks like. So either I need some any different colors, contrast is there, it's not looking correctly, the font size, how I can change, either this button should be in a somewhat a bold focused. So all these things you can do in a markup designs. Once each screens you have did what you have taken a sketch in a storyboard, that either all these things is working, means what colors I have assumed in a beginning and all, whether these colors are identical, means is good for my particular app, either images what I am putting of buttons and icons what I am using, the size of the images is okay, still the size should be larger or should be lesser, and the alignment of that particular text what I am using in that particular screen, everything like a real screen of a mobile app you can see in this particular tool. That's a markup designs. So once everything you'll feel, yeah, all my 10 screens whatever are there in my particular app, yeah, it's looking very good. You'll get a feedback showing to others in a of your friends, somebody like that. You see this particular apps, how how you are feeling about screens of this particular app and all. You will get a feedback from them. So again, change the colors or a font, whatever is there, like this. So after doing all these things, we'll design the pictures of that particular screens with all the components, features, whatever is there with an Adobe Creative Suite. Once it has been done, then we'll go for a prototype. Perfection is the enemy of good, and designs that start as ugly prototypes quickly progress to elegant and usable applications. Platform specific tools are available, such as the interface builder or Xcode for iOS. But HTML and CS are a standard and simply way to quickly build prototypical interactions. So usually how you can do, if you are using an iOS in a Xcode, you can do the small app with this particular screens, and you can check for yourself. Otherwise, using HTML and CSS, you can design same screens in a web-based concept, and you can check whether it's working or not. That prototype also you can do. In Android Studio also, same concept will be there. After putting all the features, everything on a screen according to your storyboard, you can check how it is working and all. With a emulator screen, what you can get on your monitor, a virtual screen, like same mobile features, everything will be there. So there you can see, and once you fulfill, yeah, my prototype is correct, then you can generate an APK file from an Android Studio. So this one thing. On-device testing. Once this is okay, one of the most important tools during design will be the physical device. Buy or borrow the devices an application will run on. Means you can fix the mobile and you can check later on. Simulators and emulators. Now we'll discuss on that, what the simulators and emulators are. Simulators and emulators are important when the hardware is unavailable and the service contracts for devices are profitably expensive. For example, always I need a mobile to connect and check my particular app what I have designed. So I doesn't have a mobile to check particular thing. That means that much. For example, assume I'm doing for a iOS I'm using, and I'm doing for an iPhone. So always there is no need that I must have an iPhone there to check all this particular features and all. So even one of the app I am doing for an best Android smartphones and all, but that version of an phone is not there with me. I'm using an ordinary phone. Then there is no need that for that particular device. You can use the simulators and emulators in that particular place. A simulator uses a different code base to act like the intended hardware environment. An emulator uses a virtual machine to simulate the environment using the same code base as a mobile application. That's way, rather than a simulator, we are going to use the emulators. Almost all in Android Studio and all, we will use an emulator. That is, it's a virtual machine to simulate like your mobile. All the features of your mobile, whatever is there, everything will be there on that particular emulator. And just you can, whatever the code you have did mobile application, you can put on that, and you can check how your app is working. Whether it's working correctly or not, then what are the features. Once if you feel everything is correct, yeah, it's working correctly, 100% my app is working correctly, then you can connect once to the device and you can check, and later on you can make APK file and put it on other devices. It can be cost prohibitive to test on many devices, making emulators incredibly useful. So that's why emulators are very useful comparatively. So this ends the unit. So any queries is there, you can ask me. Any queries, you can ask me. So this ends the module one of entire thing. From a next class onwards, we will go with this module number two, which will start with an Android Studio. Just I'll stop 1 minute. So in a module 2, what are the things will be there? So in a module 2, we'll start with installation of an Android Studio, means downloading an Android Studio, and afterwards how gradients of an Android Studio can be downloaded, and then we'll go with an installation of that particular Android Studio, how Android Studio will take automatically the SDK, what it needs, and installation of that will be done. And then later on, we'll go with a small program that is Hello World program. With that means app generation things, how you can do. So how you can make that Hello World package in Android Studio. Later on, we'll go with a different features which you can add to your mobile app. One by one features will discuss in a module 2. And in a module 3 and all advanced features on a GUI based, we'll discuss based on navigation, networking, that things and all we are going to discuss. Now here afterwards, from a module 2 to module 4, you will be entirely, you will be we will be teaching and we'll discussing on the Android Studio and how to develop an app with the different features. And the last model, how app can be implemented, deployed into the App Store as an APK file. So how you can create your own apps and all. So that we are going to discuss. So this is about an model 2, which further we are going to discuss. Any doubts is there? You can ask me. Any doubts is there?
So textbook ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ಸರ್ PDF ಇಲ್ಲ.
Kaushik? Kaushik, I didn't understood. Kaushik, repeat. Kaushik?
So he wants textbook, I think so.
Textbook, yeah. Today only I will send both the textbooks to you, which I am having a PDF with me. I will send that to you. Don't worry about that. I will send both the textbooks. I will send to you in a WhatsApp, which you can download. Both the textbooks I am having. Any other doubts?
Sir, can you also share module 1 PPT also, sir?
Yeah, ma, not a problem. I will share a model 1 PPT also.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma. Any other things? So model 1 PPT and then textbooks, 2 textbooks I'll share. Today only I'll share, not a problem. Right, now I'll take attendance. Ananga?
Yes, sir.
Abhilash?
Yes, sir.
Akhil?
Yes, sir.
Afrod?
Sir.
Anusha?
Yes, sir.
Arvind?
Present, sir.
Arifullah?
Yes, sir.
Benaka? Absent? Banu Prakash?
Sir.
Bhargav? Next, Rahmatullah?
Present, sir.
Chaitra,
Present, sir.
Chandana,
Present, sir.
next
Present,
Charan,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Charan Kumar
Yes,
Reddy.
sir.
Next,
Yes, sir.
okay, ma. Darshan,
Present, sir.
present. Next Diksha,
Present, sir.
Dakshayani,
Present, sir.
Kishan,
Present, sir.
Arshit, ಯಾಕೆ ಇವನು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಹರ್ಷಿತ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಮಮಾನ್ ಸಾರಿ ಯಾರು ಹರ್ಷಿತಾ
ಇದಾನೆ ಸರ್ ಹರ್ಷಿತ್.
ಇದಾನಾ ಓಕೆ
Sir,
ಹೇಮಲತಾ
he's trying to speak.
ಓಕೆ ಮಾ ಓಕೆ ಐ put attendance to him ಹೇಮಲತಾ
Present, sir.
ಉಮಾ
Present, sir.
ಜಯಂತ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ದಿವ್ಯಾ
Yes, sir.
ಕೌಶಿಕ್
Present, sir.
ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಲಾವಣ್ಯ I think both are there, Lakshmi and Lavanya. Others? Lakshmi? Absent? Yes. Lavanya? Others? Either they are putting in a chat box?
Sir, they both are not present, sir, in list also.
Not present, both are. Right. Manish?
Present, sir.
Manoj?
Present, sir.
Mohit?
Yes, sir.
Naval?
Present, sir.
Navya?
Present, sir.
Nikhil?
Present, sir.
Panindra?
Present, sir.
Pawan?
Yes, sir.
Pooja? I repeat, Pooja? Absent. Then Purnima?
Yes, sir.
Raman?
Yes, sir.
Then Rashmi?
Present, sir.
Then Rupak?
Yes, sir.
Sai Kumar?
Present, sir.
Samir?
Present, sir.
Santosh?
Present, sir.
Shadab?
Present, sir.
Then Sharan?
Present, sir.
Then Shashank?
Present, sir.
Sheetal?
Present, sir.
Shivani?
Present, sir.
Somyashri? Absent. Somyashri. Next, Spurti.
Present, sir.
Sri Vishnu. Sugandhini.
Present, sir.
Sushma.
Present, sir.
Sushmita BS.
Present, sir.
Sushmita U.
Present, sir.
Tirtha.
Present, sir.
Trupti. Varsha.
Yes, sir.
Veena.
Present, sir.
Okay, thank you for giving attendance. So from next class onwards, we'll go with the module 2. 1 minute, I will take out the recording. Stop.